The Wholecloth Patterns Logan Bag uses a snap closure on the front pocket. When I'm making Logan bags, I like to use the Dritz Heavy Duty Snap Kit. It comes with 6 sets of snaps and a special tool that lets you install them. The only additional tool you'll need is a hammer. I'm going to demonstrate how to install the snaps today on the Logan bag so that you can use them for this or any sewing project. I've linked to the Logan bag sewing pattern and all the tools and supplies I'm using in today's tutorial in the notes below the video. Now, let's get started. Each snap is made up of 4 separate pieces. There are the snap pieces, and then there are these 2 facing pieces. The facing has prongs on the back side, and those prongs fit into a ridge around the back of the snap pieces. So you fit the prongs into the ridge with the fabric sandwiched in between, and then you hammer it to basically squish those 2 pieces together, and that's what holds the snap to the fabric. And to do that, there's this little piece of hardware that's included with the snap kit. This little dish holds the facing side, and this kind of T-pin thing holds the snap side, and then you hit the top of this bar with the hammer to squish the 2 pieces together. I'm in the process of making a Wholecloth Logan bag, and I'm at the step in the pattern where I'm ready to install the snap to the front of my pocket. So I have the pocket assembly here. It's sewn across the bottom, and I've marked with pins where my snap is going to go on the center front of the bag, and then this is the pocket right here. I'm going to start with the outer piece of the snap. So I'm going to use the decorative facing. It's the one that is the solid disc, and it's usually attached to the socket side of the snap. That's the one with the hole. I'm going to center the front facing piece on that mark and then push the prongs through the fabric. Here you can see that I have pushed the prongs through the fabric. This is 2 layers of quilted fabric, so it took a little bit of effort to get the prongs through all of those layers. But now I'm ready to line up the prongs with the ridge on the back side of my socket piece. And when I can feel that that is centered and locked together, then I'll take the dish side of my tool, and this is kind of cupped out so that it protects the curved surface of the decorative facing, and I'm going to put the decorative facing in this side of the tool, and I'm going to put the T-pin side of the tool on top of the socket side of my snap, and then I'm just going to whack it a few times with the hammer to squish the 2 sides together. After I've hammered it, I like to double check and make sure that it is solidly attached and fully pressed the whole way around the snap. This one looks pretty good, but when in doubt, I just hit it a couple more times with the hammer and the T-pin. Here I have the first half of my snap installed. We've got the decorative facing on the outside of my pocket and the socket piece on the inside of my pocket. Next, I'm going to install the stud side of the snap on the opposite inside of the pocket. You can measure and mark the position for the opposite side of your snap, but I usually just use the first half of the snap I installed to locate the position of the other side of the snap. You can kind of push the prongs of the facing through the fabric and feel the ridge on the inside of the socket to know that you have the facing in the right place. So that's how I'm going to position the snap for the other side. I've pushed the prongs through the fabric, and I'm going to line up the ridge along the back of the stud side of the snap with the prongs on my facing. And when I can feel that I have it properly positioned, you put the facing in the dish like we did last time. You can see the T-pin piece has a hole in it for the stud side of the snap. So I'm going to position the T-pin over the stud, and I'm just gonna whack it a couple times with the hammer. Double check and make sure it's tight. That looks good. Here I have the socket side of my snap and the stud side of my snap attached to my pocket. Thanks for following along today. Check out the links in the notes below the video for the Logan Bag sewing pattern, and click subscribe to follow the Wholecloth Patterns sewing channel.